Operation Epic Fury.
Some breaking news right now. The Trump administration just laid out what victory over Iran actually looks like. And folks, it's not just about destroying missiles and sinking ships. Secretary Rubio just dropped a bombshell. The United States is preparing to take permanent control of one of the most critical choke points on planet Earth. I'm talking about the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil flows through that strait. And now, with Iran's military in absolute ruins, the administration is signaling this isn't temporary. It's about long-term American dominance. The question is, are we watching the birth of a new MAGA world order in the Middle East? Now, here's why this matters to every single American who's watching this right now. That Strait of Hormuz, it controls global energy prices. When Iran threatens it, your gas prices spike, your heating bill goes up. The cost of everything from groceries to airline tickets shoots through the roof. For decades, the Iranian regime has held that choke point hostage, funding terrorists from Hamas to Hezbollah to the Houthis. Every single one of them traced directly back to Tehran. They've attacked our allies, murdered American soldiers, and destabilized an entire region while pursuing nuclear weapons. The previous administrations kicked the can down the road. They sent pallets of cash. They begged for deals. And what did we get? More missiles, more drones, more dead Americans. Well, President Trump, of course, said enough is enough. Operation Epic Fury isn't just about punishing Iran. It's about permanently ending their ability to threaten American prosperity and global stability. This is what America First foreign policy looks like when the gloves finally come off. And speaking of being prepared for whatever comes next, let me ask you something that's very important. If a major disruption happened tomorrow and you couldn't get to the store, how long could you actually last with what's in your house right now? Now, be honest. If it's anything less than a month, you need to check out our friends at My Patriot Supply. They're America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers who understand that hoping for the best isn't a plan. Right now, when you go to preparewithgary.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food absolutely free. That's 5 weeks of peace of mind. With everything now happening in the Middle East and the global supply chain still recovering, smart Americans are getting prepared right now, not later. Don't wait for the next crisis to which you had acted. Go to preparewithgary.com today. Now, let me tell you what the administration just revealed about how fast this operation is moving. This is what the mainstream media does not want you to focus on. See, we're not just winning, we're actually ahead of schedule. Secretary Rubio just confirmed the administration will achieve all objectives in a matter of weeks, not months. Over 11,000 enemy targets struck. Iran's ballistic missile and drone attacks down 90%. Their Navy, 150 vessels destroyed, including 92% of their largest ships. They've been declared combat ineffective. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what administration officials are saying right now, starting with Marco Rubio.
First of all, it's important to remember the objectives of this operation from the very beginning. We are destroying Iran's Navy. We are destroying their ability to their missile launchers by a significant percentage. We're going to wipe out their defense industrial base, meaning their ability to make new missiles and new drones in the future, because it poses a great threat to the region. This Iran that you're seeing now, this is Iran at its weakest point. Imagine them 2 years from now if they had thousands of more missiles, thousands of more missile launchers and factories to make even more. That was an unacceptable risk. It needed to be addressed, and President Trump is addressing it. Now, they are making threats about controlling the Hormuz Straits in perpetuity, creating a tolling system and the like. That's not going to be allowed to happen. And the president has a number of options available to him if he so chooses to prevent that from happening. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss what those options are, and we're not going to discuss military tactics. The Department of War would be in charge of those things. I'd refer you to them, but obviously they're not going to discuss it with you either. But there is a way forward here to achieve our objectives. We are going to achieve our objectives in a matter of weeks, not months.
A matter of weeks and not months. Rubio highlighting the urgency of dismantling Iran's military capability. Now he emphasizes how Iran's fueled terror cells across the region and why diplomacy remains a distant dream. Listen.
Well, I think the first point the president makes is he prefers diplomacy. As I said, those efforts are nascent. There is messages being relayed back and forth, some conversations going on, including through intermediaries, and he always prefers that. Look, if the Iranian regime had come forward at any point in the past and said, we're going to walk away from our nuclear ambitions, we're going to do nuclear energy the way every other country in the world, primarily, almost every other country in the world does it, and that is through a peaceful means in which you bring in the fuel and it's supervised and so forth. We're going to stop supporting terror terrorist groups across the region. Look at this. Every single terrorist group in this region has a link to the Iranian regime. Every single one. The Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Shia militias that are attacking everyone out of Iraq. Every single one of these groups and all the destabilization in this region tracks directly back to the Iranian regime. Those things have to be addressed. And if Iran had been willing to address those in the past, we wouldn't be having this interview on this topic right now. Their refusal to do so and their continuing move towards one day acquiring a nuclear capability, these people are lunatics. They are insane. They are religious zealots who can never be allowed to possess a nuclear weapon because they have an apocalyptic vision of the future. And all of their neighbors know that, by the way, which is why all of their neighbors have been supportive of the efforts we're conducting.
All their neighbors are supportive of Operation Epic Fury. As diplomatic channels struggle, the White House outlines Operation Epic Fury's clear success in degrading Iranian military strength. Rubio elaborates on the specific objectives set by President Trump since day one. But first, here's the press secretary just moments ago in the press briefing room.
With respect to the ongoing major combat operations in Iran, Operation Epic Fury is moving ahead successfully and according to plan. With each passing day, the United States military is increasing its advantage over the terrorist Iranian regime. More than 11,000 enemy targets have been struck to date, each strike further crippling the regime's offensive and defensive capabilities and creating more leverage for the United States and our allies. Compared to the start of the operation, Iran's ballistic missile and drone attacks are down by roughly 90%. The United States is also decimating the Iranian regime's navy. We have destroyed more than 150 of their naval vessels so far, including 92% of their largest vessels. The Iranian Navy has no vessels operating in major regional waterways and no ability to project naval power, which is why they've been assessed as combat ineffective. Our military continues to obliterate Iran's defense industrial base, with nearly 70% of their missile, drone, and naval production facilities and shipyards damaged or destroyed thus far, significantly reducing their ability to pose future threats in the region. U.S. and Israeli joint forces control the skies and have asserted air dominance over Iran, completing more than 11,000 successful combat flights thus far. The trend remains clear. The United States is conducting more intense, targeted strikes with devastating combat power with each passing day to destroy the threat posed by the Iranian terrorist regime, as President Trump sought out to do a month ago.
It's been a month already. And now we have the Secretary Rubio confirming the operation's objectives are ahead of schedule.
Operation, okay, and that's what this is. It's about very specific objectives. The president laid them out on the first night of the operation. I'll repeat them to you now because I hear a lot of talk about we don't know what the clear objectives are. Here they are. You should write them down. Number one, the destruction of their air force. Number two, the destruction of their navy. Number three, the severe diminishing of their missile launching capability. And number four, the destruction of their factories so they can't make more missiles and more drones to threaten us in the future. All of this so that they can never hide behind it to acquire a nuclear weapon. That was our objective from the beginning. That remains our objective now. We are on pace and, in fact, ahead of schedule on some of those things, and we are going to achieve those things in a number of weeks, not in a number of months.
So what? It's like, okay, we're going to destroy the Navy, we're going to destroy the military, but we're going to diminish the ballistic missile capabilities? Why not completely destroy them? That's something I don't quite understand. Now let's go to the Treasury Secretary discussing the Strait of Hormuz.
The market is well supplied, and we are seeing more and more ships go through on a daily basis as individual countries cut deals with the Iranian regime for the time being. But over time, the U.S. is going to retake control of the straits, and there will be freedom of navigation, whether it is through U.S. escorts or a multinational escort.
So here's the truth that the establishment media doesn't want you to understand. You see, this is not just about defeating Iran. It's about who controls the arteries of global commerce for the next 50 years. Secretary Bessent confirming the United States will retake control of the Strait of Hormuz through American naval escorts or a multinational coalition. That means freedom of navigation guaranteed by American power, not Iranian terrorism. For the first time in decades, we're not just reacting to threats, we're actually reshaping the entire region. Iran is at its weakest point ever, and President Trump is ensuring they can never rebuild. No more factories making missiles, no more drones threatening our allies, no nuclear weapon hiding behind a decimated military. This is the MAGA doctrine in action, peace through overwhelming American strength. You see, what we're witnessing right now is historic. President Trump promised to end the endless wars and the weak foreign policy to let our enemies walk all over us. And he's delivering. Operation Epic Fury is systematically dismantling the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism while securing critical global infrastructure for American interests. Now, of course, the media will spin this, the left will panic, but the results speak for themselves. Iran's military is in ruins, and American dominance in the region is being established for generations. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you support President Trump's strategy to control the Strait of Hormuz, yes or no? Drop your answer below and share this video with every patriot who needs to see what real American leadership looks like. And since you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. Not everybody does, but you did. And because you did, I know you care. This is a free gift. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. It costs you nothing to bypass the algorithm, to get the notifications directly from me when YouTube never sends them. I'll send a message directly to your phone. We're not going to spam you. We're going to send you the information that you want. And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shop at the shelf below this video. Find something you like and support our work. I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.